Maybe it's time to start a new series if you subscribers are up for it. Let me know in the comments below. I was thinking about a series of videos covering home entertainment technology.
You mean TVs, right?
Yeah, but more specifically, the digital media devices that are connected to TVs. If you want, we could compare the media aspects of different platforms, video game consoles, tablets, smart TVs, and maybe even go into how I built my own home digital media network.
Sounds interesting. Please continue.
Some longtime subscribers might remember I opened up Gaming Wars by comparing movie ticket revenue to video game revenue. When I was doing that research, I found out that most of the Hollywood revenue is actually in home video sales. Over the past 10 years, VHS cassettes have died, and even though the majority of people still buy physical optical discs, DVDs are slowing down, and Blu-ray discs are hanging on. Digital media is really the future of home entertainment.
So how is this Apple TV thing doing anyway?
Well, first it's important to understand that the Apple TV is a client media device for iTunes Media. And when it comes to digital media purchases, iTunes is the biggest platform so far. But Apple's competitors aren't just sitting back. And now Hollywood studios are joining forces to fight in the TV wars. At CES 2013, 6 Hollywood studios partnered with electronics companies to offer free movies with the purchase of compatible Blu-ray disc players and smart TVs. They want to get people hooked on Hollywood's own media distribution platform, Ultraviolet. The problem in Hollywood is that over the past 7 years there has been an entertainment recession.
Wait a minute, aren't movie ticket prices going up? What's wrong?
Today we have cheaper and easier ways to watch movies. With the tablet wars in full swing, and smart TVs and consoles becoming more standard in the home, it is easier for most people to watch content through Amazon or Netflix. And Netflix or Redbox DVD rentals are more convenient than these dying rental businesses. And movie studios don't get as much revenue from rentals or streaming. They really want people to still buy optical discs. The Apple TV is the iTunes gateway device into the living room, but Apple has always been coy about its intentions, calling the Apple TV a little hobby or an area of intense interest. Let's see how the 5-year-old Apple TV evolved over the years.
Spec alert.
The first generation has a 40GB hard disk drive, 720p HDMI output, Ethernet, and 802.11n Wi-Fi. A 160GB version came out 2 months later, but it lacked media streaming support for movies and music. Everything had to go through iTunes at first, at least until a firmware update later on. The second generation Apple TV was rebuilt from the ground up. A quarter of the size and a third of the price, the software was built on the iOS platform, and now it could stream content from Macs or iOS devices through a key feature called AirPlay. It's really a streaming device without the hard disk drive. The third generation Apple TV came out almost a year ago, and the highlight was 1080p HDMI video output and the same Apple custom single-core version of the A5 chip that powers the iPhone 4S. The point of this video is to say, don't buy an Apple TV. At least not yet. You see, the FCC is responsible for managing and licensing any devices that use the electromagnetic spectrum. Every single wireless device in the US needs to have this seal of approval. On January 29, 2013, Apple applied for certification, and that almost definitely means that an updated Apple TV is coming out soon. It may have a more efficient dual-band Wi-Fi and Bluetooth 4.0 chip, cutting active power consumption in half and cutting standby power even more. AnandTech.com says the processor might be upgraded to an A5X, with an upgraded quad-core GPU that has a wider memory bus to process 1080p content and even 3D graphics. The design should really be the same, although it might be just a bit smaller. But overall, this appears to be just a minor spec update that will increase graphics performance while using less power. And it'll probably be a silent update that just pops up on Apple.com in March. I'll post a comment with details below as soon as we get more news.
So what's the point of this video? I thought you were going to talk about what's wrong with the Apple TV.
Well, on this channel, as some of you might know, I like to cover innovation everywhere. And during the Gaming Wars series, I really wanted to figure out a way to talk about the innovations going on in the distribution of movie and TV content. I figured I could use this small Apple TV story to see if you guys would like me to start a TV Wars series, as a way to look at how consumer electronics might affect the way we watch media at home. For example, check out this teaser.
Holy shit.
That's exactly what I said when I saw it for the first time. For sure, the next PlayStation will do more than just play games. So if you give this video a thumbs up, I'll cover devices like the PlayStation 4 and even possible future Apple TV devices as consoles in the Gaming War series and as media devices in the TV War series.
I think Apple rolls the console guys really easily. The question is, can we make enough progress in the PC space to establish ourselves there and also start figuring out better ways of addressing mobile before Apple attacks or takes over the living room.
Regardless, I'll definitely get to work on coverage of the next PlayStation because it looks like it's gonna be awesome, so stay tuned.